Today I want to give the demo of blog automation workflow, and this is the query from a client. This was a query of a client, and what is the query? That to create unlimited blogs from the topic. So I'll be walking through this whole workflow, and before starting, let me go to my balance of OpenAI. So currently it's $5.95, and after the completion of this workflow, we'll be checking that how much this workflow has consumed, and how we'll be running. I'll be executing it manually, because if I make it active, so it works behind the scene. So to visualize and give you the details of the workflow, I'll be running it manually. And also we'll be needing, for this workflow, one thing more is needed, and that is you have to create one application on Google Console platform. And why it is necessary? Because we have to upload documents on the Google Docs, we have to retrieve documents, we have to update documents in the Google Docs. So for this purpose it is necessary. So without wasting any more time, we are going to start this workflow. From how we can start: as soon as I click this execute workflow button, it listens to Google form. This is the Google form, and there are only two fields in it. One is for asking the topic, and one is asking that how many titles we need to create. So I've already entered one value into it, and that the topic is anytime security, and I need two titles of this topic. So two title means two Google Docs. I will be needing two Google Docs, and each Google Doc I will be needing content and two images. So this whole workflow I'll be walking through. Firstly, the workflow has been reached over here, but I'll be explaining from the start. So as soon as it retrieves the Google Form sheet, it retrieves, there is a code note, and it retrieves the latest entry from the Google sheet, and then it gives that entry to title generation prompt. So title generation prompt generates the title from the topic, and we can see over here that it has created two titles. So you can see the topic of the titles, like the title names: essential N10 security best practices to safeguard your automation workflows, how to secure N10 instance, again common threats, ultimate guide for developers. So as soon as this title generation prompt is done, all of the titles are being entered into this sheet, this one sheet that I just showed to you. And after that, the loop will start. The loop will run two times, because we have two titles. So for each loop iteration, what are the steps? For each loop, it creates the document. Firstly, this is a document node, and then it waits for 5 seconds. We have a wait node for 5 seconds only, in order to create proper document and upload it onto the Google Drive. And then we provide the title to the content generation prompt. This is the content generation prompt, and we have given the title from the loop. So essential N10 security best practices to safeguard your automation workflows, the same title that we just entered over here. So we retrieved for our content generation. So what is the purpose of this prompt? This prompt generates the content according to this these rules and regulations that I have mentioned over here. And after that, and for this I have used GPT-4 Turbo, the latest one. Okay. And as soon as the content is generated, then I categorize into three fields, like title, content, and document. And I provide these three fields to the child workflow. This is a parent workflow, and there is another workflow that is called child workflow. The parent workflow basically creates the content, and creates the document, and creates the title, and the child workflow creates only images. So let's move on to the image automation child workflow. And this is a child workflow, and it cannot be visualized, because it is called by the parent workflow. That's why it cannot be visualized, but I'll be explaining it at each and every node. So we have retrieved the data from the parent node. So I've created two iterations for this workflow. So this workflow will run 2 times, and what it will do, it will create 2 images. And how this image will be created? It will be created images by the help of the content that we just created in the parent workflow. So this is an image prompt. We inject that content into this workflow, and it creates the content for the image. So we create image from the content. So how we create image? We call an API that is called api.openai.com images generations. This is the API URL, and we have to give some authorization code to it, and in this way it creates the images, and it creates the image in base64 format, and then it converts. We have to convert it into the binary, and then I am uploading it onto the Google Drive. And as soon as it's uploaded onto the Google Drive, permissions are required to give to the images, so that it should be inserted into the document that we just created in the parent workflow. And this is the update permission node in which we are giving permissions, and then we are finally inserting into the document. So this is a document, and then the document ID is coming from the parent node again, and in this way this loop runs for 2 times, and for each title it runs for 2 times. And now you can see that first iteration was done, and now this is the second iteration, and it is almost on the end. So as soon as it ends, it acknowledges that the workflow has been completed successfully. And at the end of this workflow, what we will be expecting is that there should be 2 documents, and in each document there should be some content and 2 images. So let's see, let's wait for a while. As soon as it completes, meanwhile I'll be telling you that this workflow, like each document takes almost 3 to 4 minutes to complete, like one content paragraph, detailed content paragraph having 600 words approximately with 2 images. So this takes approximately 3 to 5 minutes, yes, on average. So this workflow is best, although it was a client query, but it can be used, as I'll be providing it on my profile, and it can be customized it in either ways, can be used it, and we can, if any query comes around, I'll be happy to answer that. Okay, so now the sub workflow is completed, and now the second loop is also done. So let's move on to the sheet. We had 2 titles, and according to these 2 titles we should be having 2 documents. Let's go to the blog automation document. Let me refresh it, and now you can see that we have 2 documents, and also the image folder is there. Okay, so you can see a ready-made blog content is there with headings and sufficient and updated content with the images. This is the first image, and this is the second image. Look at these images. Awesome, it is awesome. And let me open the second image. Again, this is the second document with having more than enough details, and hashtag is also applied, and 2 images again here. So this is the whole workflow. It can be customized in any way. That's it from my side. Thanks, and stay tuned. Bye.